Economy boards. Said to be the best bang for your credit Sabre soundboard there is around at the moment. But the annoying thing is that stupid flash. We haven't really been able to get around it. Until now. So it's breadboard time again. I've been sort of thinking about this flashing issue for a while, and today I realized something. And that's led me onto this idea which I'm presenting to you today. When we initially discovered and started playing around with the economy boards, the 2010 versions, and realized that they didn't have enough current to power our LEDs, from the onset we were powering the TIB42 transistors with the LED outputs of the board, which contain the flashing. In essence, what we're doing is taking the small signal from the board and switching it to a large signal with the transistor. But that small signal contains the flashing, which comes directly from the microcontroller. So there's no way to get rid of that flashing, even though it goes through the transistor. If we look at the soundboard itself, there's actually another small signal on the board that we can use to power the transistor, and that's the speaker output. The speaker output follows, obviously, the sound, and the sound cannot have flashing in it, otherwise you just hear it go mute on and off. So I decided to test this today, just in a sort of wave of inspiration, and what I found was actually pretty cool. So I'm going to make it dark in here, darker, and I'm going to show you what I found. I've got this is a Yoda board, just in case anyone's interested. This is the obviously original LED board, which I've left there to do a comparison basically between the LED itself and the original LEDs. So obviously the LED is running off the LED output, and the larger LED is running off of the speaker output, and it's a very interesting effect that we get. So to save blinding the camera, I'm going to use a blade plug and just stick it over here, and it still gives us the blade effects. So I'm going to turn on the board, and so you can see with the LEDs here we get the flashing, and with the LED here we get a sort of a fade. It's a bit more of an instant on, but it has a slight fading to it. It's really cool to see in person. But the main thing you'll notice is if you listen to the sound, it's a better way to give some more resonance. Is that it's flickering along with the sound, and the flicker it's amazing. It comes very similar to some of the higher end soundboards. It's a very tight flicker. It's not sort of digging on and off, and so we can do anything. We can so we can get some. The blade doesn't change too much because the other sound effects aren't that much higher in volume than the other sounds, the hum sound. So it's just a different pattern. It doesn't really get brighter or dimmer. So you can see this LED is going crazy with the flashes, but this one is staying rather still in its pattern. The one thing that I did notice is that it does get a bit brighter just before power off. But otherwise, I think that the setups they should be wired like this. If you're wiring to the LED before, then wire to the speaker outputs. I mean, the speaker still works. It works perfectly. It's not actually drawing a lot of current away from the speaker. If I just unplug it. By the way, this sort of looks messy because it's on a breadboard, but this is sort of a normal 2010 board setup. The only difference is that instead of the LED output plugged into the transistor, I have the speaker output. But otherwise, it's exactly the same. You want to use the speaker minus because the what we usually use for the TIP 42s is the LED minus. So make sure you do that when you do this setup. So speaker minus to the base of the transistor, and then otherwise it's pretty much the same. So with it unplugged, you can it sounds near exactly the same in volume. Just plug that back in. I don't have a Sabre to put this board in. This is sort of a test board that I have. So I'd like to see someone building a Sabre with an economy board wired like this, because I'd love to see how it looks with a full blade. This LED is rather underpowered right now because I only have 2 little batteries here, just because I didn't want to mess around with resistors and things just for this small test. But yeah, I mean, again, if you just watch this, and this is just Serene sitting there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be posting this in the TCSS thread on these boards, and I'd like to hear any feedback you guys have for this setup. Okay, thanks.